all know that R&B singers are no strangers to getting freaky on stage. Over these last couple of months, Usher has really pressed it. He's recently had this thing called a Vegas residency, in which he pretty much does live performances in Vegas. And during the Vegas show, like, he'll go up to a woman and he'll get a little bit freaky with her. And basically what happened with him and Keke Palmer has sparked outrage. So basically, Usher's not a stranger to this. So I'm going to address the obvious with this one. These two are both entertainers. So, and not only are they entertainers, they're both R&B entertainers. So at some point in time, they're going to get a little bit sexual on stage. It's just what happens. It's part of being a part of the entertainment business. A lot of people are actually surprised about this. I actually expected this because, number one, it's Usher. He's known for getting freaky and getting handsy, a little bit too handsy with other people's girls. And number two, it's a Super Bowl. It's always something with a Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys remember, I was pretty young when this happened, but the whole Janet Jackson thing with her top coming off.
Listen, the only way I think I could see this being acceptable is if you view it through a strictly artistic lens. So, for example, there are plenty of films where the main actress is married in real life and she has a kissing scene with her male co-star, right? But that's strictly art, and that's planned. This seemed very spontaneous to me. It didn't seem like it was planned out. It seemed like Usher was in a moment, and he was pumped up on adrenaline and going back to, when they first created the music together, and, he got a little handsy. So, to me, push the line.
But don't you think it's worse if it was unplanned? Because then you see the look on her face if it was unplanned.
You mean her reaction?
Yeah.
Because she enjoyed it, you're saying?
I'm just saying, if it was unplanned, her reaction would actually be worse. If it was planned and she already knew what was coming up, she's like, okay, I can act like I feel comfortable in this.
I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
if
it wasn't planned and she already feels that comfortable.
Yeah, because if it was spontaneous and it caught her off guard and her first reaction wasn't like, oh, it was kind of like smiley and ooh, like she enjoyed it. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
At the same time, and look, I don't think he should have done it. But at the same time, just how he was in the moment, I think she was in the moment.
I think it was planned, though, if I'm going to be honest. I think it was planned because this is an incredibly popular song. People know that this is an intimate song. I don't know if you guys have seen the original video. They're hugged up on each other. They're all booed up. It's called My Boo. So I really do think that this was planned.
Well, if it was planned, hopefully Swizz Beatz had knowledge of it beforehand. Because even as a husband, I'd still probably want to know that's going to go down. And now, listen.
You'd want to know. I mean, I'd have to, bro. That's his wife.
I understand. I know. And that's my point. Like, the only way it's acceptable to me is if it's strictly viewed through the artistic lens. So, like you said, they're performers. They're on stage. They're going back. They're performing a very intimate song. That's the only way I can kind of give this a little bit of...
But here's the thing, right? And this is what I'm going to say about it. Do you think that Usher would be the same way if that was Beyonce?
Ooh.
I agree with you that it is artistic. But at the same time, I can't see him doing that with Beyonce. If this was Beyonce back in the day, when she was just dating Jay-Z, maybe, right? I think Sean Paul did something back in the day or whatever. But like now, like Beyonce now and Usher doing that now, I don't see it.
Not happening.
Huh. That is interesting. I can't see it either. I don't think that he would do it if it was Beyonce. And I don't think Beyonce would have that same reaction Alicia Keys did if he caught her off guard.
Neither do
if
I.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a good question. Wow.
I don't think Usher and Alicia Keys have anything going on, right? Maybe if it was like back in the day when they were both younger, maybe. I don't know. It's a possibility. Who knows, right? So I don't think that there was, I guess, foul intent on her part. I just think as a man, there's just certain boundaries you shouldn't cross unless you're doing like the Adam 22 thing. And then, who knows what's up with that. But I just think you should have a certain amount of respect for married couples and married people. Because my thing is this, like, what's the line now for a married woman? Like, where are the boundaries? Where does the line end?
I mean, we're living in a time right now where like everything is blurred lines. Everything is up to how you feel about something. There's not really any strict societal pressure to be a certain way. There's no shame. It's all just anything goes kind of seems right. We're kind of like in Sodom and Gomorrah, and I'm not really a religious guy, but that's what it seems to me. Like It is now.
Because at the same time, something like this similar happened with Chance the Rapper, right? So Chance the Rapper, he went to Carnival, which, just in case you guys don't know, it's kind of like a traditional thing in the Caribbean. Basically, it's just one big twerk fest, we're going to be honest. And he got twerk from somebody, and social media was going crazy. They're like, oh, he's married, blah, blah, blah. So, and guess what? For a reason, I'm not mad at women feeling some type of way about a married man getting twerk. I get it. I'm not even going to argue that. But when I see them turn around and excuse this, I'm kind of like,
If it's the same women that are screaming at the top of their lungs against what Chance did, but they're okay with what happened with Alicia, then they're hypocrites.
yeah.
Essentially. Are they different situations? They are.
Yeah.
One's a performance. Let's be honest. I will give them that. One is a performance.
Yeah, I
One is
yeah.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they're still hypocrites either way. If they're the same people saying that. So
yeah, because my thing is this: I don't think it would have took away from the performance if he didn't do that.
I don't either. I don't think he needed to do it. And even before he like hugged her, he put his hand behind her bottom like a silhouette.
Yeah,
And so that was already towing the line. But even that, okay, he didn't touch her.
yeah,
It's a sensual song. But once you grip her up from behind, like, I mean, I don't see my wife like that with another man,
at all,
performance or not.
at all.
So,
But I think the thing that made it worse, and especially for a lot of men, okay, number one is that she's not even that kind of artist.
yeah, she's
Like
not.
Alicia Keys is not like a very sexual artist. She doesn't really show her body off and stuff like that. That's just not her. Like her brand is more like inspirational, women empowerment. Like I think she has a song like I'm a Superwoman or something like that. Like that's her kind of vibe. So like she doesn't really do the overly like sexual thing.
Right.
And I think a lot of men have a problem with it because just like I mentioned before, it's like, okay, well, where's the line?
Absolutely.
Like you guys were okay with the Keke Palmer thing. Like it's like as a guy, like what do you?
Yeah, I like that. And I have no shade to the female artists who are more sexual,
Yeah,
but we need some balance. Everyone can't be out here twerking with thongs on. So I like that she's more conservative. So yeah, I mean, where is the line? Come on, Usher. I mean, I don't know. And by the way, you know, her response was pretty on point. Sorry, what am I trying to say? Her reaction was wasn't like. I don't think that she did that for the cameras to make sure it didn't look bad. I think that was her natural.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay, this is.
yeah.
But again, I think she was in the moment though.
Yeah. And then we go down to Swizz's response, right? So Swizz basically said that he had no problem with it. And he said that you guys should have been paying more attention to the great dresses that his wife was wearing. I'm not if that's how he truly feels, then I can't tell another man how to feel about his wife. I mean, it's his wife, right? But I just don't like the fact that people were saying that like, all right, well, if he did have a problem with it, that means he's insecure. Like we gotta stop gaslighting people to think that having a man hugged up on your wife is like you're insecure.
Yeah,
That's
so let me modify what you're saying, 'cause I know what you're saying. We need to stop gaslighting men who decide to put boundaries on their relationship.
Respect your man's boundaries.
And anything that is not seen as, or anything that is a boundary that's conservative, let's say, traditional, let's say, is being gaslit to be insecure or misogynist or whatever you want to call it, which that's ridiculous. It's okay to have boundaries in your relationship.
It's okay to not be okay with someone hugged up on your wife.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm like, what are you guys
And-
talking about?
Exactly. And by the way, I bet 10 Chipotle bowls to one person, because if it was more than one, it'd be a lot of money. I bet 10 Chipotle bowls to one person that Swizz Beatz was not okay with it. I bet you that behind closed doors, he had a conversation with his wife. I don't think he reached out to Usher, but he probably was not happy with it. He probably said what he said online because he didn't want to have public drama. So
Yeah,
he's like,
because
I don't want to overshadow the moment. Cool.
everybody was roasting him online. You know how many memes there were?
Wait, so what are you saying?
Everybody was like,
They were
"Oh,
roasting
man."
him.
Huh?
They were roasting
Yeah,
him.
that's why I said everybody's roasting him online. So I think he did it to kind of smooth the backlash on his wife.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
people were like, well, why is she okay with another man doing this and you're married? So I think he said, okay, well, it's okay with me. I don't know. Maybe he did feel this, maybe he didn't or whatever, but he said
Doubt
it's
it.
okay.
I doubt it.
I mean, listen, I'm just going to be completely honest. I would not be okay with that. If that's my wife.
I doubt he's okay with it. I think he's keeping it behind closed doors. He's handling it among him and his wife, and maybe Usher, if maybe Usher hit him up on the low, like, hey man, if it took that the wrong way, I'm sorry. He's like, okay, it's all good. Appreciate the.
I mean, Usher pretty much put out an announcement that like he's getting married or engaged to his girl right after the day happened.
Yeah, I think he got married. Yeah.
So,
but still, I mean, he's still
overstepped. Let's be honest, he's still overstepped.
I would say, yeah. If I was Usher, I mean, I would probably reach out to Swizz Beatz and be like, hey man.
Sorry, bro.
I mean, it's too late now.
Yeah, what's done is done. We can still not like. Remember the question? Going back to your question earlier. Would he have done that to Beyonce? We both think no, right?
No.
Why? Because he has too much respect for Jay-Z.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is by calling Swizz Beatz and being like, hey, my bad. I shouldn't have done that. That's showing some respect. He's already done the deed, but at least it'd be a little more respectful than just, oh, whatever. I don't care if he cares about it. I don't care. No.
I mean, at that point, I'm just like, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, it's cool that if you were to try to clean it up, but I mean, the damage is done at that point. Like, what if you walked in and saw your girl doing that to? What if you walked in, right, and you saw your girl hugged up on another coworker like that?
It's a different situation.
I'm just saying.
Way different situation.
I'm just saying. I know we both know it's a different situation.
Yeah, in that scenario,
yeah,
no. But this is the performance.
I know that. That's why I stated that in the beginning.
But that's why I'm saying I can't answer. If I answer your question, it's not gonna go.
I just want your natural, like, how would you feel?
They're not the same thing.
I know that. We know that.
So it's not helping out what I'm trying to get across. In your scenario, an apology doesn't matter because it's way out of bounds.
Okay.
Way out of bounds. Like, if you go and see a man behind closed doors, not in front of a stadium full of however many people were there, but you walk into, let's say you want to go surprise your wife at work and drop some flowers off of her or something, I don't know. And for some reason, they let you into the building, which they shouldn't, because that's not secure. And then,
that's not secure at all. Like, you just walk in there.
You know what I'm saying? And then you go to the break room, because you know where it's at, and you open the door, and you see Alicia Keys and Usher, or two other
I know
people.
where the break room is.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, whatever. Hypothetically.
Yeah,
okay, we're going. Okay.
And then she's on his lap. Same facial expression that Alicia Keys has.
And she's singing My Boo.
No. Depending on who that guy is, he might be leaving the workplace
with an ice bag.
You know what I mean? Or even worse. Depending on who he is. And depending on who the other guy is, you know. But that's the thing. Like, that's way out of pocket, bro. Way out of pocket. Way out of pocket. Heck no.
The reason why I said that is I think that's how a lot of men felt when they watched the scene. That's why you saw all these memes come out, and that's why everybody was posting it, and that's why you still see it today.
Okay, I can get what your point there. Maybe they felt that way.
Exactly.
But it's still not the same.
I know it's not the same. We all know it's not the same.
Yeah,
we all know they're performers.
Right. So, but yeah, I think what it is, like you're saying, like men are looking at it and going, maybe even it's like a
they're looking at it like that's me. Like that could possibly be me.
Well, that too, but I mean, like,
or you know what they could be thinking? If Swizz Beatz isn't safe, we aren't.
I don't even think of that. I think that they're extrapolating the situation out and going, dang, like, where are the boundaries nowadays? And this is just another reminder that the boundaries of all fate,
are intermixed. Like, you don't know what goes. Like, I really don't know at this point what's considered secure and insecure. Seriously.
Yeah, I can only point to examples of people. And this would only be anecdotal.
I'm not talking about my bound. I'm just talking about in general what everybody considers secure and insecure.
I'm gonna land the plane. So, because we're speaking in very generalities right now, which we have to.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at it from an anecdotal perspective, and I'm looking at people who I know who know you know that person, who knows that person.
Yeah.
Friends, or like one friend removed, or whatever you want to call it. There are the camps that I see that are together, and they are in traditional conservative type relationships. Right or wrong, whether that's your thing or not, decision makers. I see those types, and they seem to still have the normal. I won't call it normal. Just conservative.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Then I see the other side,
the more liberal side.
More, you know, and
no diss or anything like that.
No diss.
Yeah.
But that's a side where it's kind of like everything just kind of goes, and you get all the. It's messy.
The Adam 22. Well, maybe they're not doing Adam 22, but
that's.
I just free for all.
Exactly. And so, you know, one's more messy than the other. Whether or not you side with either one, whether or not you think one is right and one is wrong, objectively speaking, at least anecdotally, this side, where it's more conservative and traditional, it's a little less messy.
Tends to hold up a little bit longer, for being honest.
So,
we're not saying that they don't have their ish, though. But, you know.
No matter what the relationship, it could be brothers, sisters, father, son, relationship romantically, co-workers. Any relationship is going to have is
relationships are complicated.
Of course,
People are complicated.
Right. So that is exactly why conservative things were put in place for that reason. Because inherently people are going to be a little messy. So you have to have external boundaries to keep people in line. So when you get rid of those boundaries, you get mess. Again, no offense to anyone. I'm just trying to get it objectively.
No, I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. Let me do something everyone can relate to. Have you guys ever been in school, right? And then you had a nice substitute. And the substitute is like, oh, well, I don't really care what happens. Just do your work. What happens? Chances are that class went crazy. The kids are like, I can do anything. They got on their cell phones. You got girls in the back fighting. People are going in and out using the bathroom. No one ends up doing work. And then when your teacher comes back, you all get in trouble. Whereas you had the one substitute who was strict that was like, hey, I don't play any games. You're going to do this work. You're going to get it done in this allotted time. You might go out for recess. You might not. But you guys are going to do this work. What happened? Everyone did their work. It worked out personally. It worked out fine. Did you have one or two kids that act up? Yep, but they got sent to the office immediately. So,
hey, that was actually fire analogy off the top of your head. That was perfectly.
Thanks.
That was a perfect analogy for this.
yeah, that's why, I'm trying to think of something that everyone can relate to.
That's good.
So ultimately, do I think Usher made a good decision? I'm going to say this. It's actually going to be two decisions. Do I think he made a good financial decision? Yes, his streams went up. Well, I mean, his streams went up because his performance.
Not 'cause of that
but
shit.
also, the Super Bowl controversy, it caused more spotlight on Usher, right?
Yeah.
So business-wise, I think it was a good decision. But I think personal-wise, just as a man, I think it's a bad decision because, man, I could never see myself doing that with a married woman. That's too far. What are you going to say? Good decision, bad decision for Usher?
I have to agree. So boring. Yeah, I have to agree. Same thing.
All right, guys. So decision makers, if you think Usher made a good decision, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think Alicia Keys made a bad decision, leave a like and leave a comment. All right, decision makers, we're out.